In your journey of being self-employed,
Do you know the economics of those decision making? A little bit of economics background is highly recommended.
to be self-employed, is it that way or is it like something different?
Certainly not. When I started, I was not sure if I can sustain this journey without knowing what it takes to be a self-employed. I hate accounts. I hate financial statements and cash flow. But after becoming self-employed, so every individual is good enough to prioritize what they want to pursue. So you cannot go and seek out help from anybody else. Don't get married.
Okay.
It's going to be really shutting you down.
Hello everyone, welcome to tryScrum Studios. In this video, I'm going to ask few questions to Venkat about what it takes to be self-employed. Welcome Venkat.
Hi Arun, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Let's start with the same question. What it takes to be self-employed, Venkat?
It's a good question. I'll try to answer in a few sentences. So one thing that there are many things, but one thing come to my mind, what it takes to be self-employed is that you need to have definitely a financial resilience, which I wish I had known in the past. But when I started, I was not sure if I can sustain this journey without knowing what it takes to be a self-employed.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Maybe I'll start from that. You talked about wish I had known, right? On those lines, tell me something about self-employment. You wish someone had told you about that, but you didn't have that option, someone telling that. What would that be?
Okay, I always keep saying, I think we had some conversations offline. I was saying you that I hate accounts. I hate financial statements and cash flow. But after becoming self-employed is when I realized that's very important. So understanding the cash flow, managing the cash flow, and a little bit of economics background is highly recommended for somebody who's trying to be self-employed. Because at some point of time in your journey, you will recognize that you will have to either learn that or you need to probably take some of the experts' help to understand so that you can make right decisions in your company.
Okay, that's a very, very important information that you're sharing it. Now let me come to the self-doubt part. That's natural for everyone, right? In your journey of being self-employed, you might have definitely had some self-doubts. During that time, how did you navigate that self-doubts?
Of course, I'm not sure, I cannot categorize everybody, but every human being will have self-doubt at some point in time. It could be different for different people. But when you're self-employed, one of the doubts you will always get is that, should I pursue this journey? What I'm doing is right or wrong? Because you cannot ask somebody immediately, what am I trying to do is going to work or not? Because nobody knows that. So one of the things that at least helped me after many years is that you need to reframe your narrative. Sometimes you get your narrative, inner narration like, okay, so this is not going to work. Am I capable of doing it? Or can I sustain in this journey? Right? Many candidates ask me the same question. Did you get self-doubt? 100% yes. But how did I navigate? Maybe sometimes I struggled a lot to navigate that. And sometimes I had to go and do my inner narration differently. So you got to change your self-narration. It's okay to take setbacks. It's okay to have setbacks in your journey. Like your personal life, everybody had setbacks, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in your professional life also, you will have setbacks. But you need to navigate by combining your self-narration in a positive way, and you need to make some actions. For example, only the narration part is not going to help. At least it did not help in my case. You need to take some actions toward, okay, so we tried so far different things. It did not work. Let me try to do something different. And sometimes it's okay to go and ask experts' help. Maybe your friends your family, or somebody whom you trust, it's perfectly fine.
Okay. So you talked about that changing your narration. So is it like going back to why you came out or to be self-employed? Is it that way, or is it like something different?
Certainly not. Why you become self-employed is something everybody would get the thought, but I wouldn't say that as a self-narration.
Mm-hmm.
It's a self-doubt.
No, when I say why, I meant the purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The purpose of you started doing self-employment. Is it that what you called as a self-narration, or?
No, definitely I did not get the thought, why did I quit my job and become self-employed? Or the purpose of quitting the employment and becoming self-employed. Is this the right thing that I did? I did not get such kind of doubts.
Mm-hmm.
But the self-doubt that I was talking to was, is this the right thing that I am doing?
Mm-hmm.
Or should I change my direction?
Okay.
Or are there any better ways of doing things?
Okay.
So basically, you will get a little bit of self-doubt that am I going in a right direction? Because it's not a corporate world. When it comes to self-employment, sometimes you're on your own. You are an individual. So you cannot go and seek out help from anybody else. Right? So at times you would get that doubt that am I going in the right direction? Or should I continue this, or should I totally pivot and take a different direction? So those are the self-doubts always that would be coming in every entrepreneur, in my opinion.
Okay. So basically the adaptation is key. On wherever you are currently, you try to see what you're currently at and then adapt to the direction.
Yeah, of course. You need to have experimentation mindset and heart set.
That's nice. Yes. Probably that's where you rightly get into that heart thing, right? So think of this. Someone has started doing self-employment and now struggling and they're planning to give up. Mm-hmm. What would be the one piece of advice that you would give it to them?
Yeah, it depends on why are they giving up that self-employed motivation, right? Sometimes it's because of financial freedom.
Yeah.
Or is it because of inabilities or some personal life challenges? So every individual is good enough to prioritize what they want to pursue.
Yeah.
But don't try to quit with little bit of impulse, right? Avoid that impulse. Immediately would you like to quit? You could probably postpone your decision. So for example, don't make any decisions abruptly. You might try to procrastinate your decision to some extent. I would say a positive procrastination. I know procrastination is a syndrome, but a positive procrastination helps sometimes. So you can procrastinate, or you can try to take some time. Okay, let me try this for a couple of months. Let me try to do this for 3 more months. Then if I don't get any results that I'm hoping for, probably I can try different things, or I might have to do what it makes sense to me.
So can I term this as perseverance as well? Persevering trying to do what you're trying to do, and then taking a decision?
Yeah, your perseverance and the resilience go hand in hand, right? The more the more perseverance that someone is holding, and the more resilience that they are going to develop. And this is where the self-doubt is also coming in your way. Okay, should I pursue? Should I consistently try this, or should I pivot it? And at times you need to procrastinate these decisions and don't make any impulsive decision. Today you think that this is not going to work, and tomorrow you quit your self-employment again. You try to go back to what you've been doing. And that time I used to do a little bit of narration. This time is, why did I come out?
Yeah.
What was the purpose of quitting that corporate world and became self-employed? So that is going to answer this question.
Nice. Okay, so now I wanted to take some cues on this. So you talked about persevering and also having a heartfelt, having some resilience as well. So maybe I'll try to put this way. So we call something as dirty jobs, which means you don't intend to do it, or you don't enjoy doing it, but you had to do it. Probably in that angle. What's one responsibility that you didn't expect to do when you started self-employment?
Okay, so what is one thing that I did not expect to do? Yeah, I did not expect that I would have to learn accounts. And I had to sit down and understand what is financial statement, what is cash flow. And I literally hate accounts for some reason personally, right? Since childhood, I'm not good at mathematics. I'm not saying that I'm proud of saying this, but it is what it is. Not everything is everybody's cup of tea.
Okay.
So I never thought, even in my dreams, that after many years I would have to sit and learn what is accounts, what is cash flow, how to manage this, and what are the different terminologies I need to be knowing so that I can make mindful decisions, especially when you are having financial crunch. Right? The second thing was probably coming out of your comfortable zone often, because everybody will have to come out of their comfortable zone at some point. But when you become self-employed, sometimes you have to be really cross-functionals. There are days that I had taken chats, I had directly taken chats, responded candidates, and I have responded to emails. I had even did some cold calls, talking to somebody, doing a business pitch. And I don't like marketing, to be honest with you. But I had to do that coming out of my comfortable zone, because now you are self-employed. No one is going to go and brand you, but you. So those are the things that I never expected that I would do, but I had to do.
So basically, you had to be behind the doors and doing some work, and also front-facing and then doing some work.
Right.
It's like 360 degree. You're on your own, right? Which is definitely challenging, right? Okay. So maybe next thing that I wanted to ask you is that if you have to write a survival guide for self-employment people, what would be the top 3 golden stuffs that you would list down?
Okay. Don't get married.
Okay.
Okay. So that's a joke, but learn accounting, right? Number 2, love economics. Number 3, trust your passion. So these are the 3 things that I would like to put it in a golden book. The reason I keep saying the accounting and economics is that I know of many people that I spoke to. They make a lot of decisions, and sometimes the economics of decision making is going to be really poor. You cannot pivot something when you're almost there, right? When you cannot pursue something which is going to be unrealistic for you. So do you know the economics of those decision making? And in my opinion, it's super important for somebody who's self-employed, because you are not backed up by investors, and you are not going to, perhaps I assume that you are not going to go back to the employment with respect to the corporate world, because if you are here, there is a reason why you became self-employed. It could be because of a corporate bureaucracy. It could be because of financial freedom, or it could be because of your passion. You wanted to take everything on your chin. Now going back and thinking makes sense if the situation demands and you tried many things and did not work. But impulsively making those decisions is something I would not recommend to people that are really looking to become self-employed.
Okay, cool. Maybe one last question. So what is that one failure that you thought is a blessing in disguise in your self-employment journey?
Oh yeah, many failures, not one.
But one blessing in disguise. Okay, this failure is a blessing.
That's a good question. So I would say sometimes you should not, it might sound very unconventional, but you might have to face some insults, right? And you need to have a very good emotional intelligence. I repeat this again, the emotional intelligence of self-employed people will have to be very high. Because else what's going to happen is you're going to take everything into your hearts, and that's not going to open up many doors for you. So one thing I'm still learning, I have been learning and still learning, and I will continue to learn is emotional intelligence, because that factor is not so significantly looked at by many entrepreneurs, especially who are self-employed, trying to do something on their own. So keeping that always with you, a good emotional quotient, is going to be a blessing. So I learned that. I had a hard lesson learning that. So there were a lot of failures in the beginning because of taking everything into hearts. And certainly because you were in corporate world and somebody comes and ruthlessly tells something on your face, it's going to be really shutting you down. So when I got shut down by many people, then I learned hard lessons that the words are not going to shut you down. It's the way how you interpret the words. So you need to, even if they told you with bad intentions, you need to rechange or reimagine that narration to move on. That's very important.
Thank you, Venkat. Thank you for being vulnerable and sharing as many insights as possible. I hope you all enjoyed as well. I hope I asked the right questions. In the next episode, we'll try to come up with an interesting topic. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you.